Hello and welcome to the highlights of Day 4 of the first test between Zimbabwe and New Zealand from Bulawayo. After wrapping up Zimbabwe for a paltry 164, the Kiwis posted a mammoth 576 for 6 declared to acquire a first innings lead of 412. In response, the Zimbabwe top order failed to put up a fight, but the hosts were offered some hope in the form of resistance from Irvine and Raza. Let's now find out if the Zimbabweans can arrest their slide or if the Kiwis will continue their dominance. It's over to our commentators Jeremy Coney and Vusimuzi Sibanda.
First ball of the fourth day, just outside the off stump of Irvine. First run of the fourth day, and that's the 50 for Craig Irvine from 57 balls, 7 boundaries.
And that is maiden test 50 for Craig Irvine. Thoroughly deserves it. He grafted hard yesterday, leading on to today. And there's a confirmation, just nudging it through to leg side. Very well played.
Inside edge, is it? Yes, gone. Picks up the first wicket. Irvine too, it's the important one. I think an inside edge.
It looked like it was an outside edge for me there. I'm not quite sure. We'll have a look just now. But just from the previous ball, there was a bit of a touch of reverse. And possibly Craig Irvine searching for that, playing right inside it. And yeah, it's very faint outside edge there, Jeremy. Yeah, again, not a good start for Zimbabwe today, and Trent Bolt has a last laugh. Craig Irvine out for 50 of 60 balls, 124 for 6.
Sean Williams is the new batsman for Zimbabwe, coming in at number 8. All playing wide, drawn wide. And there, because, of course, the dismissal of Craig Irvine, who got to his maiden 50 in the first over. And just a hint of movement, you're right, coming back in. Little villainous thin edge just carried through to Tom Latham.
Yeah, that's rather unfortunate for Craig. I certainly think he didn't hit it.
Well, let's look and see if he hits the pad.
Yeah,
see, I don't know.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's touch and go again. You see, that's...
You tell me when you see, when does he hit his pad?
Have a look there. Boom. But neither is the ball closer to his bat, though.
Well, what's the sound? That's go back to my question.
Maybe he's got a crack on the bat or something.
I
Normally
see.
that has
Yeah.
happened.
28-75. Saudika 31-94.
But there, I mean, I can understand it being given. Now, let's see. Does the bat hit the pad? I don't think that does hit the pad. That's a good stroke. Standard deliver from Williams.
Yeah, that's a great shot for Sean Williams to get off the mark there. Oh, no, actually, he's on 5. Yeah. But I tell you what, we all understand he's under the weather at the moment. And the team relies on him without any doubt. And I also would like to think that he will have the fight in him to be out there for longer.
Why do you say that? Do you say that because you feel that sometimes he doesn't have the fight? Or just because he's unwell? I mean, I would have thought that every remaining Zimbabwe batsman were ready and up for the fight. I mean, they want to have a good showing here today. They want to make sure that they're not going to give wickets away. They're going to be got out.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's a gutsy little player, Sean Williams. And he's shown it for some time, though. I mean, his stats, I mean, even in the first class, as well as in the one days.
All through aerial gully. Williamson's positioned there at a sort of a fifth slip. Not quite square enough. So it was half a chance for Southey.
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to get back to Sean Williams, why I say he's a gutsy little player. Not so much in the test, because he hasn't played that many test matches.
That's straighter, though. That's from a different area of the pitch, and that's why it looked to be a better stroke generally, rather than playing a little bit later on the angle and going square. A good shot. So Southey just a tad straight. Again, very little foot movement.
Yeah, the only good thing is that's a touch straight, as you mentioned, and it's a lot easier for him to punch it straight down the ground. And for him, that's bread and butter. But then again, he has to be a lot tighter. He has to leave well.
That's caused Southey now to come around the wicket and come back into him. And that's why you'll notice that Sodhi has moved away, who's at mid-off, is moved away to his right, and so he's gone more to a sort of a wide mid, or now he's just sneaking back. Maybe that's just to throw the ball to Southey, I don't know. But he's actually sort of wide mid-off, tending towards extra cover. Let's see if he's just throwing the ball back now. There he goes, just running to a wider position, saying, go on, if you want to take the drive. That brings the slips into play and the finder of two gullies. Oh, he sliced it, got underneath it, gets away with it. That one goes just square, and that's a nice stroke for 4.
Yeah, pretty interesting filter there, hey, Jeremy. And also there is a hint of reverse swing, though, which is quite surprising. Early in the morning here at Queens, normally the ball doesn't do much, but on that occasion they saw they're just sliding it down leg, and pretty easy for Graham Creamer to put that away through to the leg side.
Flashing. He's done it since he's come to the crease. Sean Williams didn't field most of the Zimbabwe fielding effort, but has come out here suffering from a throat infection, and anything that's been outside off stump he's thrown his hands at. Morning, Stanley.
Morning, Ed. Yeah, Williams has been going at that ball outside off stump, and he's kind of living dangerously.
Oh, that's a fantastic delivery. Frustration. Evasive. Leg bye is confirmed by Michael Goff. Not sure what to do with this, Graham Creamer. It's hit him on the thigh pad. Shot from Southey. Hits the ground, Sean Williams. Uppish and through the leg side.
Creamer just holding back, just playing it slightly too early there, maybe, but managing to get it through the gap. He's been playing exceptionally well, and he's looking to build a partnership with Williams. As you see, they just pushed through the line, playing it uppish a little bit. The partnership right now sitting on 33 of 61 balls.
Good delivery. Caught in no man's land was Sean Williams. Couldn't go forward or back, so a very decent delivery by Trent Bolt. Coming back off the seam, and it's a nothing shot, really. He's not trying to defend that. He's not trying to score off it. See the front foot pulling away from the line of off stump. Not trying to go to the line of the ball and try and maybe play a defensive shot. So good delivery. It's a quick run. Well, I'm not going to pull because the leg side field is set for me to get out. If I don't execute well on this occasion, I'm going to play the ramp shot. Picks up 4, Sean Williams.
Intelligent bit of bowling, just letting the ball glide off the face of his batting. Sean Williams he's been doing well so thus far. Just supporting Captain Creamer and building up a healthy partnership.
Oh no. Oh no. Clever bit of captaincy. Kane Williamson, he says, okay, if you're not going to pull and you're going to revert to the ramp shot, I'm going to put a man hanging at about a short third man for that particular shot. And Sean Williams has almost obliged. The slips were taken out and he tries to ramp it again. And it drops a few meters short of Ross Taylor. Excellent bit of captaincy. They're hungry for wickets on New Zealand. Oh, that's the end of the over. There was some riveting cricket in terms of shot selection and good captaincy and excellent bowling.
Yeah, that's a great shot from Sean Williams. Easily put away. I was talking earlier about how he loves driving, and there's a confirmation of that. Technically correct. His feet movement was a lot better than before when he walked into bat.
Still a very, very long way behind. I think it would be an extraordinary achievement from here if Zimbabwe were able to avoid the innings defeat. Another day tomorrow. It's very hard to see the last 4 wickets batting for 10 hours. 11 hours we've got left, actually. That hurts. I sincerely hope that Graham Creamer's all right. He's just, see him flexing his fingers immediately just to make sure that everything's still moving. There'll be some numbness. If that's hurting as much as I suspect it probably is, he might well just take a bit of time here. Just take 30 seconds. Take a little walk to square leg, and if you need to call for the magic spray, then call for it. But he's showing a lot of courage.
You know that he missed out on the T20 World Cup because he got hit on his forearm and had to get a splint, I believe, or something to get the fracture healed. And that's why he's never batted with an arm guard before. And since then, he's been using that. He's never used that before. And since then, since he's been hit, and he's always been worried about getting hit again.
Why would you not wear an arm guard? I mean, I'm old enough to remember batsmen who used to say, I'm not using a helmet. What do I want to use a helmet for? Cap. It's the way its game's played. But why would he not have worn an arm guard?
I don't know. For me, I just don't feel comfortable using it. It feels like it gets in my way when I'm playing shots.
Nice and full, just a push. Didn't try to overhit it. just trickles in. Just, oh, steady on. Did he pull it back? Oh, we'll have to have a look at that again. Amazing effort. Is that Tom Latham? It is, isn't it? What a dive. Amazing. Straight out of Brendan McCullum's fielding book, that. Lovely shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Have a look at that. That is... Oh, that I reckon that...
He's just touched it, hasn't he?
Yeah, I reckon he just touched the boundary there. Wow.
He's wearing a few.
He is. Indeed, he is. I talked about determination. I wouldn't mind icing, putting a bit of ice packs on my body at the end of the day, knowing that I'm still batting out there, and I've taken it for the team as well. And certainly Graham Creamer is showing it that he wants to be out there and only putting out the bad balls.
Edge, fall short.
Yeah, that's a great shot indeed. She will be pleased with that. And as Sean puts it away for the boundary. Yeah, it's a bit bright out there as well, and Miss Williams would certainly be itching to get up on that seat and applaud for their husband that he would have done well. If he does plenty of that, certainly she will be.
There's a famous saying in another sport, beware the injured golfer. Because very often, somehow an injury tends to focus the mind, and I think it may be applying to Williams here.
You could be right, and not only him, also Creamer on the other end. And then this time he gets it. The ramp over gully.
Played beautifully. We've seen a lot of that, and Graham Creamer just waited for that beautifully, and he's hit that for 4.
And they've looked in control, these two. Look at that. Wonderful. Stands nice and tall. It's right to the pitch of the ball. A lovely punch down the ground. And then a sweep shot. That's where he's going to play. Sean Williams very good off the sweep. And will he pick up a boundary? Yes, he will. Very good off the sweep and plays the spinners. He prefers the spinners, doesn't he?
More so with the ball turning into him, Eddie. That just it's a piece of cake for him. As you can see, that knew exactly where the fielder was, and he gets it around the corner, and he runs away for 4. It's a really good shot.
A number of things have to change, and he's played that through the offside. Will it go for a boundary? And will it be a maiden test 50 for Sean Williams? Yes, it will be. First 50 for the left-hander. Missed out most of the game with illness. Coming late in this innings, and he's shown some quality in his shot selection. And here's just testament to that. It's back of the leg, it sits up, and he picks the gap. Off the back foot, and it's 4. Job not done yet. Yeah, you always expect to get one good nut now and again. Use of the feet.
Oh, yes,
that's how he's going to play it. Has gone for a boundary. He's showing his quality. Good off the back foot. Punch for 4. Good with the sweep and then use of the feet.
I think the thing to notice is how he kept his head down, and how late he left his crease there. You see, there's a late decision to leave, so he didn't give too much away, and gets enough on it to just, all he needs to do is just get enough on it, because it's just an attacking straight field.
Tell you what, I told you that he's a good player. All round the wicket. Use of the feet, now the reverse sweep. Not allowing Ish Sodhi to settle at all. He loves playing spin, does Sean Williams. Oh yes, wonderful. Out the rough as well, it's popped out the rough. Bit of an explosion at the end there, but he stays with the shot. And another wonderful shot again. Waited for it. Wonderful timing. Will it go in the boundary? Yes, it will. Just asking for some water, as you said. Again, just confirmation that his throat is probably a bit dry. Needs some lubrication. And look at this for a shot.
Similar shot as the previous one. It just got enough on it and just enough weighted on that. A bit more, just looked like a bit more power on that.
Shot for LBW. That one stays low. Gets a little bit of bat on it as well.
Did look like he got bat to that. Yeah, he definitely got the inside edge onto his bat there, so good decision by the umpire.
And that one goes through him. Has he got any bat on it? It goes into the boundary and it's byes.
It's gone too straight there, and Sean Williams tries to work that round the corners, missed it completely, and it comes off. He misses it completely. The keeper nowhere close to it, and goes and runs away for 4.
Short. Loose delivery. You get a few good ones and you will get some opportunity to score, and there it is. Sits up in the wicket.
He's bowled some really good balls, short, sorry, but it tends to drop the ball short, and then Williams gets deep into his crease, and it takes full advantage of that.
Seen out, it's a maiden. Kane Williamson, he bowls a maiden. It's the end of the 49th over. It's 221 for 6. And with that confirmation, it's going to be lunch. It's been an excellent session for Zimbabwe. Lots to think about for the New Zealanders. Makai Ntini, he's smiling. And there's no need why he shouldn't, because his captain and Sean Williams have played fantastically well. In this session, 28 overs, 100 runs. They're scoring at about 3.5, and they've just lost the 1 wicket. So there's a lot out there that Zimbabwe can come out and continue the good work. Some applause from the support staff and the players. It's been excellent work. And this is how it's gone for Zimbabwe in their second innings. We're in all sorts of trouble. At a 17 for 4. A 50 by Craig Irvin off 60 balls, important. A brisk 37 by Sakunda Razabat. And then Graham Creamer, 32 off 107 balls. He's been out there for 153 minutes, along with Sean Williams, who's played some wonderful shots. Great stroke play for his 73. The bowlers, it's just been Bolt that has been successful this morning. He's picked up 4 for 47, and Saudi 1 for 58, and Neil Wagner late yesterday got 1 for 52. Just confirmation of where the game is at. Zimbabwe batted first, 164. They were bowled out, and then New Zealand, a mammoth total of 576, led well by 173 by Ross Taylor, and Zimbabwe fighting hard, 221 for 6. They still trail New Zealand's first inning total of 576 by 191 runs.
Ish Sodhi continues from the airport end.
Oh, lovely.
That's a splendid effort for the 7th wicket between Creamer and Williams. That's 100 now. really impressive between these two, and they're still going.
Left alone. Shot for LBW. Brings the bowler into play here, does Graham Creamer. He's just left the ball. It's well outside off stump. And so definitely not on, and also because it's generally going to turn away from the right-hander. Oh, lovely shot. He's been severe through the offside, has Sean Williams. He marches on to 82. A wonderful shot down the ground. There isn't a lot of protection on the offside because the leg spin is coming around the wicket, and you expect him to turn the ball in to the left-hander. But it's a long half volley, and look at that for execution. He gets that front foot out, way out in front of him, and then he's able to free his arms. And he's got to do that because this pitch will begin to misbehave.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Beautiful bowling this, Sissy boy.
And this is just confirmation why he's got to be very concise on that front foot. If he's going to go, he has to go. Look at the explosion off the top.
Oh,
and the turn as well.
Beautiful bowling, mate.
Especially if this is in your eye line, you've just got to put it behind you. But you look at the top, just losing it, or almost exploding out of the surface.
Lovely full toss. That's a gift present there for Sean Williams, and it's his 18th four. 86 not out.
Oh, outside edge. Just slower through the air. Bit of line and length from Santner. Coming around the wicket. Targeting those foot marks, and it seems to just zip off from the city end, and a little bit of extra bounce.
Oh, yes, yes, slick. Stop, draw that set. Catch it.
Into the 90s goes Sean Williams with his 19th boundary. 92 from 100 balls.
He's played splendidly. It sits up, it's a long hop, and there's no protection out there.
Up goes the finger. I thought it might have been slightly high, but Creamer's resistance finally comes to an end, and Ish Sodhi has struck. Might just have turned fractionally from leg to middle, but it just looked a bit high. Hit him high on the pad. That your feeling as well, Ed?
Well, you look at the captain, Graham Creamer, and how disappointed it is. Just confirmation we don't have is pitched in line. Oh, it does look high. It's hit the top, or it's past the knee roll. We're going to have confirmation on this end. And it looks pretty high, and they go up straight away. He's not happy. It's been a good visual by Graham Creamer. He's gone for 33 off 130 balls. The score is 242 for 7.
Reggie Jakubva is the new batsman, the wicketkeeper. Been out of the test match for the last 2 days, but has climbed off his sickbed and strapped the pads on. He's ready to go.
Catch it. Hey.
Nicely hit through the onside. Will it beat the man in the deep? It definitely will. Wonderful timing. 98 for Sean Williams, overpitched. And he picks his gap perfectly. So impressive by Sean Williams. It's a full toss. But you've got to be able to hit the gap, and because on some occasions you can try and hit it too hard and the bottom hand comes through and hit it straight to a fielder. And this outfield has been unforgiving and very lightning quick.
Go!
Will it go away? Yes, it will. It's a test 100 for Sean Williams at his home ground in Queen's Sports Club. Fantastic. Excellent. His wife, against all odds, he's been feeling very unwell and much appreciated by the home fans. They stand in ovation of a fantastic test 100.
Amazing. He said in the warm-ups this morning that he was having trouble breathing when he ran.
That one's just slipped out badly. It deserved it.
Catch it there. One.
It's going to beat Southey. A despairing dive. Another boundary. The 21st for Williams.
His timing has been exceptional today. He's just not tried to hit it too hard. He's playing that sweep shot so beautifully. Just going over it nicely, making sure he stays in control. Drops the top hand a little bit, finds the gap, beating Southey in the deep. Good shot from him.
Heads up, all right, boys. Ah!
Going very wide, bowling from almost the return crease. Creating some angle for himself. And the appeal for the LBW as it went past the bat into the back pad.
Catch!
So I wonder whether it was actually sort of threatening because of the angle created by Santner. Might see that from side on. To see the height would be interesting too. It's see, it's pitching, beats the bat of Chikabva, and then onto the back pad.
Oh. Yeah, go. Well done, go. That's us, go.
It's the captain there, diving to his left to save some runs. Or is it Guptill? Guptill it is. They're only about 3 feet different in height. Good fielder, Martin Guptill. Great outfielder, good slip.
Oh, wobble, wobble.
Now we see some of that little bit of reverse that Bolt was able to achieve from Southey. Maybe he's more likely to bowl it to Chikabva. So just look for a little in swing. From a fuller ball. Slip for Chikabva, slip gully. And short cover the catching men. Two others backward point and mid off as well.
Oh, that's a good area. Timbo.
Outside edge, bit of protection out in the deep. Got him! Round his legs, the plan has worked. Tim Southey, they've looked for a breakthrough and they've got it.
Just a hint of reverse from Southey. And it's one of those dismissals that as a batsman you're walking off and you think, wow, I was a little bit unlucky. Comes off the thigh pad onto the stumps. High fives for the Kiwis. Disappointment for Zimbabwe. Their 8th wicket's down. 277 for 8.
Runs straight away for Donald Teripano. Not quite sure whether to leave, and gets a little bit of thick outside edge. It goes for 4.
Still some movement for Southey. That one went away from the right-hander, and as you can do early on, he just threw the hands at it, found the gap and picked up 4. But I think that the thing that impressed us in that first innings with Teripano was the fact that he would keep the good ball out, and he certainly had enough shots to pick up runs when there was a ball that was offered a scoring opportunity.
Just want to pick your brain on this surface and probably how the Zimbabwean batsmen have approached the game and how they've got out. Maybe on how they could maybe better approach this, I believe, one of the maybe top 4 bowling attacks or top 3 bowling attacks in the world once they're on song, especially Southey and Bolt, who swing the ball, one that swings it into the right-hander and one swings it away from the right-hander. And your thoughts on that and how they approached it?
Well, it's testing, isn't it, when you've got Southey and Bolt who complement one another so well, as you've mentioned, with the different shape that they offer. I think one of the keys that when the ball is swinging early is knowing where your off stumpers and knowing what you have to play, what you can leave. Just angling back in.
Set that in the air, he's mishit that. Yes! And that's been caught ably. Good diving forward catch, and good innings. 119 of Sean Williams comes to an end. Really better Diwali applied himself, and Zimbabwe find themselves one short of getting bowled out. 285 for 9, so that's the dismissal of Sean Williams. Initially it looked like he tried to hit it over mid-off, and ended up hitting it with a spin. Good catch.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been an outstanding innings from Sean Williams. 119 of 148 balls, 205 minutes. Showed a lot of gas there. Top innings from him. Lots of smiles from him, as well as the guys up in the change room.
Getting in amongst the pads, but some nice bowling from Santner, a little bit of flight and slower delivery here. There, just turned and it was dragged and fetched across because he didn't quite get there, and Williamson taking the catch in the deep. There's a bit of turn now. Now he's found, you see, what I mean is the pace to bowl on this pitch. It's slightly slower, and it gets grip and turn. It makes him a much more dangerous component.
Yeah, a bit of shout there from Santner. Yeah, have a look at that flight you're talking about. It's dragged him into the shot nicely off these rough surfaces as well. Sean Williams miscued it to deep mid-wicket, and Ken Williamson taking it quite comfortably.
Oh, lovely bowling set.
Yeah, as you're saying there with Mikey Chinoy as well, looking to drag him forward, bring him forward, varying that pace. It's always the key on this surface here.
Oh, late Joey. Bowling set. Good
a little bit of a shimmy down the track, and Wagner drags it short, and Tiripano pulled it in front of square quite easily. Yeah, have a look at that. A little shimmy down the track. Tiripano full arm swing and managed to get enough of it.
And for a short time in the first 20 overs of Zimbabwe's second innings, it raced to about sort of sevens, while New Zealand were just disinterested at the number of boundaries. They just wanted wickets and were quite happy to bowl very full with no protection. They did pick up those quick 4 wickets in the second innings.
Yeah, Doron Tiripano not interested in taking the single there, not wanting to expose Mike Chinoya. And he's got 4 balls left in the over. You talk about the way they've gone on about their business, not interested in how many runs Zimbabwe will score, and they kept on firing and attacking them, making sure they pick up more wickets. And to me, why wouldn't you? After batting Zimbabwe out of the game as they did, they scored heavily. The deficit was massive, and of course he would definitely attack and carry on attacking, and you would definitely be rewarded.
Hammered. Meaty blow.
That is a great shot from Donald Tiripano. And again, a bit of a shimmy down the ground and swatted it properly. Wagner not happy with that, definitely not pleased with that. And I must say, I've been impressed with Donald Tiripano.
Yeah, that's the problem for a bowler who's going to continue to constantly go this short. You're going to get the occasional one where the effort isn't there or it doesn't hit the right part of the surface. There you are. You see, if you do that, that's much harder. You can't get that away so easily. With as soon as it's up around the badge or a little bit higher, the badge on the helmet, and it becomes much more difficult to play, and you don't get the control in the stroke, but you get it down sort of around chest high or even sort of tummy button height, then, oh yeah, well, he swatted that like I mean, that fly was dead, wasn't it?
It wouldn't survive there.
No. Got the edge, and Wagner's going to take the last wicket, and New Zealand win this first test match.
Yeah, what an outstanding bowling attack from the New Zealanders. They've done an outstanding job. Oh, and we got a no ball check there. I think the third umpire is going to check the no ball. Kane Williamson, nevertheless, he will be the happy man. There we go. Let's have a look. That's okay. That should be fine, and confirmation there from the umpire. It is out, and that takes New Zealand to a great victory, winning the game by an innings in 117 runs.
Yeah, well, Kane Williamson, of course, his first test match as captain of New Zealand. He's captain, obviously, in one-day internationals and T20s. Did the World Cup, of course, in India. But as a test match, he will be delighted with his charges. They've batted. You know, we showed a stat during the game. I know how long New Zealand batted. Less than 90, more than 90. Well, they went to 166. So he'd be delighted with that. He'd be delighted the way New Zealand were able to dismiss Zimbabwe. Let's be fair, they're not the strongest batting side in the world cricket. But on a very benign surface, his bowlers have responded, so he'll be very pleased. And now there's a second test match awaits them. They'll have a little break. They'll learn things from this first test match. And Wagner in the first innings, I thought Bolt looked better in the second innings for New Zealand. Southey moved the ball early and is a bit of a danger. And really, all in all, I think maybe the spinners, Santner started to look as if he was finding his pace and his confidence. Sodhi might feel he needs to do a wee bit more work. And in the batting, as I've mentioned, you know, what? Latham a century, Watling a century, Taylor a century, a big 100, and then 91 for the captain Williamson. So nearly 400s. Can't complain about that too much.
Can't complain about that at all. It was more for team effort really than anything else. And the New Zealand will be delighted about their performance, all-round performance. Have a look at that last wicket. Donald Tiripano is still trying to have a go, nothing to lose. Not a lot. He's not gonna achieve a lot out of this innings. He might as well try and have a go, and unfortunately found the edge on that occasion.
Yeah, and that gives Neil Wagner the figures for the match. 8 for 103. 8 for 103. Surely in contention for man of the match. In fact, you could argue on such a benign surface he could well be man of the match. But here's the second innings of Zimbabwe, the response. Remember, 412 behind. They've got to 295. They were struggling early. Irvine getting 50. And Raza, a sort of rather frenetic 37. Creamer really batted a long time, as you can see there for his 30. Fought hard, grim and determined. And then Williams coming out and playing shots. And very sweet shots. Good timing, delicate strokes. Just a good player, good hand-eye player. And out for 295. And you'll see, of course, in the partnerships how Williams and Creamer figure as well. Irvine, of course, got his 50 and had a few with the top players. Creamer then with Irvine, and then with Williams 118 in that partnership this morning. So all in all, I think Zimbabwe have improved their batting. They may look at that and say, and I'll be interested to what your thoughts are about that, how they feel about their batting overall. But there we are, Bolt, the man, 4 wickets in the second innings. Wagner getting his second wicket with the last one. And then Southey picking up 2 wickets as well. So the match summary. You see 164, 5-7-6, a very big innings for New Zealand. And then in response, Zimbabwe well behind, scored 295. Much better effort than in their first innings. New Zealand winning this first test match at Bulawayo, Queen Sports Club, by an innings and 117 runs.